I feel like there are a lot of persons that are waiting for Pictomancer more than Viper right now. According to Twitter and stuff I saw on communities. Even if I love Viper already, I still had to take a look at Pictomancer. So in this video, we will take a look at Pictomancer, its abilities, its position compared to other casters, as well as my thoughts and way of thinking about Pictomancer. At first, what made me curious about Pictomancer when I watched the Public Gladiator 81 is that its abilities are actually quite similar to other casters, and it's like if you take a blue mage, for example, and the blue mage tries to copy abilities of monsters. Well, Pictomancer is kind of trying to copy other casters, so black mage, red mage, white mage. I'm not saying that's the case, I don't know the lore yet, but that's really looking like that, and that's really interesting to think about it like that. Obviously you can argue about what I just said, but at the same time, thinking about it, when you take the drawing, the core ability and core rotation of Pictomancer, it actually draws monster part, weapons, environment, to copy them and use them in combat. So yeah, that's my take about what Pictomancer is. But to get in depth, we will look at its abilities in detail. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel, as it will help me a lot and make me want to improve and make more of it. So for the first abilities to show you, the primary hue, which means color red, green and blue. This is kind of a rotation skill, so you will see first the red color, just like a bit of red mage actually, which starts with the red color, and then the green one, which is the wind element, and then the blue one, which is a water element. Red, green, and then blue. So again, red, green, and blue. And so whenever you manage to do the red, green, blue rotation of spells, you will be granted a light charge as well as 25 gauge. For the light charge, you will use one of these charge to cast a holy spell. So what you saw was the additive palette of color, but you can have the subtracting palette. To do so, you have to reach the 50% of gauge. So you do the rotation a second time, as you can see on the screen, and then you activate a spell that uses the gauge, the rainbow gauge. Once you do that, you are on subtracting spell. You will be able to do the cyan, yellow and purple colors, as well as the final ability that will replace the light color with a dark color. And the dark color is pretty much a comet ability, which is interesting, making more damage. That's why it's hidden behind some kind of rotation. So this was mainly the spell rotation kind of, so throwing paint at enemies pretty much. The second half of the rotation includes everything about drawing. And before going into rotation, I must say that you can precast your draws, or rather prepare them before going into a fight. During the fight, when you draw, you will have to cast with a rather long casting time, because it is a drawing after all. But if you press drawing buttons before entering the fight, so when you are out of enmity, you will instantly cast them. So that's a good thing to do before pulling a boss in a raid, for example, to prepare your draw. And so there are 3 categories of drawing: monster part, weapon part, and landscape. For the monster part, there are 3 different monsters available. The first one is a pom-pom from the Moogle, the second one is a bat wings, and the third one is some kind of paw from a feline monster, kind of. When you finally manage to get through your 3 monster summon, you will be able to do a 4th monster part, which is pretty much Fangs. This last part of the rotation is in 3 phases. The first is drawing, the second phase is the rendering of the drawing, where it's a little bar above the monster part gets emptied and you attack the enemy, and the last part is to use the monster you summon to do a big attack. For the weapon, it is a hammer. This hammer can trigger physical attacks at a good distance with a rather low cast time, and for the landscape it is used for party-wide buff on the ground and different other uses. This area lasts for a while, and during it you will be able to cast faster your main abilities and rotation. Obviously it will give you most likely damage buff, and you will be able to heal yourself during it. Now the skills I didn't show you, just like the shield, the dash that let you go in any direction you are facing, or the railgun. But for this last part of skills showing, this is a rotation UGP showed us, which is messed up, but still a good show of what it may look like as you play it with a full rotation for a boss, for example. This rotation includes the fact that you will prepare your drawings before going into the fight, using the landscape at the very beginning of the rotation, using the very long cast of the railgun for the very beginning of the fight because the area doesn't seem to make damage, as well as mix your monsters light and dark colors or additive or subtracting colors to deal as much damage as you want. So to conclude about Pictomancer, I believe why it at first looked very confusing to me, it could be a very great support in a full crew. It has some kind of buff giving abilities, but it is still quite obscure to me right now, as I am not sure about how it works and stuff. So that will be the second part to this video that would happen when Dawntrail comes out. But to me, Pictomancer in front of the other casters is the most support one and the least damaging one by the look of it, yet it has a lot of ability to deal damage, so that's really, I have to look forward to it and test it to be sure about that. It's very interesting to me. I look forward to it. Thank you kindly for watching this video. Please put a like if you did like this video, dislike if not, subscribe for more videos about Final Fantasy XIV and Pictomancer. Consider commenting below actually to give your thoughts about the new job for Dawntrail, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!